The first formation of B-17 flying fortresses that Major Gunther Rall spotted through his Messerschmitt Bf-109's canopy over western Germany in early 1943 appeared defenseless and vulnerable, lumbering through German airspace without fighter escort while presenting perfect targets for Luftwaffe interceptors. The veteran German ace, credited with 275 aerial victories, smiled with confidence as he prepared to add more American bombers to his impressive tally. "Look at these sitting ducks," Rall radioed to his squadron as they positioned for attack runs against the unescorted bomber formation. "The Americans send their heavy bombers deep into Germany without fighter protection. This will be another easy victory for the Luftwaffe." These were experienced German fighter pilots who had dominated European skies through superior aircraft, tactical innovation, and pilot training that had outclassed every Allied opponent they had encountered. The concept of long-range bomber escorts seemed impossible given existing fighter aircraft limitations and fuel constraints that restricted protective missions to short-range operations. They had no way of knowing they were about to witness the arrival of the most revolutionary escort fighter in aviation history, or that the P-51 Mustang would soon transform strategic bombing from a dangerous gamble into systematic destruction of German industrial capacity through unprecedented long-range fighter escort capabilities. If you want to discover more incredible stories of how American aviation innovation changed the course of World War II, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell. Major Gunther Rall positioned his Messerschmitt Bf-109 G6 for another attack run against unescorted B-17 flying fortresses penetrating German airspace during the daylight bombing campaign of 1943. As one of Germany's most successful fighter aces, with over 200 confirmed victories, Rall embodied Luftwaffe confidence that American strategic bombing would collapse under systematic fighter interception and unsustainable bomber losses. The Luftwaffe fighter tactics that German pilots employed against unescorted bombers included head-on attacks, climbing intercepts, and coordinated squadron assaults that maximized bomber destruction while minimizing German fighter exposure to defensive fire. These proven techniques had achieved devastating effectiveness against Allied bombing attempts throughout 1943. American bomber formations that penetrated German airspace without fighter escort suffered catastrophic losses that validated German assumptions about strategic bombing vulnerability. Single missions lost 60 to 80 aircraft to German interceptors, creating casualty rates that threatened to eliminate American bomber capability faster than replacement aircraft could be produced. The mathematical reality of bomber attrition included German fighter success rates exceeding sustainable American replacement capacity, forcing suspension of deep penetration missions that had aimed to destroy German industrial targets. Luftwaffe tactical superiority had created strategic victory through systematic bomber destruction. Psychological impact on American bomber crews included recognition that daylight strategic bombing faced German opposition, rendered missions suicidal without adequate fighter protection. Crew morale declined as survival probability decreased with each unescorted mission into German-controlled airspace. German aircraft production facilities, ball-bearing factories, and synthetic fuel plants remained operational due to American inability to sustain strategic bombing campaigns against defended targets. Luftwaffe fighter effectiveness had protected German war production through systematic bomber interception and destruction. The industrial capacity that supported German fighter production included aircraft manufacturing that exceeded American bomber replacement rates while maintaining pilot training programs that created experienced interceptor crews. German aviation industry had achieved defensive superiority through systematic organization and resource allocation. Strategic planning by Luftwaffe commands assumed continued air superiority over German territory based on proven fighter performance against unescorted bombers. German calculations indicated that bombing campaign suspension would eliminate strategic threats while preserving German industrial capacity and military production. Combat statistics from 1943 missions documented German fighter effectiveness that achieved kill ratios exceeding 10-1 against American bomber formations, while demonstrating tactical dominance that seemed impossible for Allied aviation to overcome through existing aircraft and operational methods. The training advantages that German fighter pilots possessed included thousands of hours of combat experience and systematic instruction in bomber interception techniques that created pilot competence exceeding American capabilities. German aviation education had produced tactical expertise that dominated aerial combat. International intelligence analysis confirmed German air superiority over European territory, while documenting American bomber losses that exceeded strategic bombing sustainability. Professional military assessment indicated German defensive success that challenged Allied strategic planning and operational assumptions. Resource allocation within German military aviation prioritized fighter production and pilot training that maintained defensive capabilities adequate for bomber interception while supporting continued war production and strategic defense. The turkey shoot was mathematical certainty, and German aviation commands planned continued defensive operations based on assumptions about tactical superiority that would soon face unprecedented challenges from American aviation innovation and strategic adaptation. Colonel Tommy Hitchcock stood beside the prototype P-51 Mustang at North American Aviation's Inglewood facility, observing test flights that would soon revolutionize strategic bombing through unprecedented long-range fighter escort capabilities. As American Air Attaché in London, Hitchcock had witnessed devastating bomber losses and championed development of fighters capable of protecting strategic bombing missions deep into German territory. The P-51 Mustang that emerged from North American's design team represented breakthrough achievement in long-range fighter capability through innovative engineering that combined British Merlin engines with American aerodynamic design. The revolutionary aircraft provided range and performance characteristics that exceeded every existing fighter while maintaining combat effectiveness throughout extended missions. Engineering innovation that enabled P-51 development included laminar flow wing design, internal fuel capacity, and aerodynamic efficiency that achieved unprecedented range without sacrificing speed or maneuverability. North American engineers had solved technical challenges that created fighter aircraft capable of escorting bombers to any target in Europe. The Merlin engine installation that transformed P-51 performance included Packard-built versions of British power plants that provided high-altitude capability and fuel efficiency exceeding American engine alternatives. International cooperation had created technological advantages that exceeded individual national capabilities. Production planning for P-51 manufacturing included mass production techniques, systematic quality control, and industrial coordination that enabled aircraft delivery rates supporting global escort requirements. American industrial methods created tactical advantages through quantitative superiority combined with technological excellence. Pilot training programs for P-51 operations emphasized long-range navigation, bomber escort procedures, and extended mission endurance that prepared American pilots for operational requirements that previous fighter missions had never attempted. Systematic instruction created pilot competence adequate for revolutionary tactical applications. The armament configuration that P-51 design achieved included 6.50 caliber machine guns, with adequate ammunition for extended combat, while maintaining fuel capacity necessary for long-range missions. Weapon systems provided combat effectiveness throughout mission duration without compromising escort capability. Strategic deployment planning for P-51 squadrons included European theater operations that would transform strategic bombing from unsustainable casualty rates to systematic industrial destruction through adequate fighter protection. American aviation strategy had achieved breakthrough capabilities through technological innovation. Quality assurance procedures that P-51 production maintained ensured aircraft reliability and performance consistency across thousands of manufactured units while supporting sustained combat operations under extended mission conditions. Industrial quality created operational advantages that enhanced pilot confidence and mission success. The economic efficiency that P-51 development demonstrated included technological advancement through competitive innovation while achieving cost-effectiveness that supported mass production and global deployment. Democratic capitalism had produced superior aircraft through systematic research and competitive development. Innovation acceleration continued throughout P-51 improvement as American engineers enhanced aircraft performance, extended operational range, and improved combat systems while maintaining production schedules. Technological competition encouraged continuous advancement that exceeded traditional aviation development methods. International recognition of P-51 capabilities included Allied appreciation for escort fighter performance that would transform strategic bombing effectiveness while demonstrating American technological leadership and industrial capability. The Mustang miracle was preparing to revolutionize European aerial warfare through American innovation that exceeded German defensive capabilities while enabling strategic bombing success that would fundamentally alter war outcomes. March 6, 1944. The first P-51 Mustangs to escort B-17 flying fortresses all the way to Berlin stunned Luftwaffe interceptors, who discovered American fighters operating at combat effectiveness over German territory 600 miles from their English bases. Major Chuck Yeager led his squadron through German airspace with fuel reserves adequate for extended combat, while maintaining tactical superiority over defending fighters. The range demonstration that P-51 escort missions achieved included bomber protection throughout entire mission duration, from takeoff to target to landing, eliminating vulnerability periods that German fighters had exploited during previous unescorted operations. American innovation had solved strategic bombing's fundamental limitation through technological breakthrough. German fighter pilots found themselves facing escort fighters with performance characteristics exceeding Luftwaffe aircraft, while operating at distances that seemed impossible according to traditional fighter limitations. Messerschmitt and Focke-Wulf pilots encountered American opposition that challenged every assumption about fighter escort capability. The tactical flexibility that P-51 operations provided included offensive fighter sweeps that engaged German interceptors before bomber formations arrived, creating air superiority conditions that enabled systematic bombing without prohibitive losses. American fighters had achieved operational capability that exceeded defensive requirements. Bomber loss rates decreased dramatically with adequate P-51 escort protection, transforming strategic bombing from unsustainable attrition to systematic industrial destruction that German defenses could not prevent through fighter interception alone. Mathematical relationships had reversed in favor of American strategic aviation. Strategic bombing effectiveness increased exponentially with P-51 escort availability, enabling target destruction that had been impossible during unescorted operations. German industrial facilities faced systematic attack that exceeded defensive capabilities while maintaining bomber survival rates, supporting continued operations. The psychological transformation among bomber crews included confidence restoration that enabled aggressive target engagement and tactical innovation. American airmen discovered that adequate fighter escort eliminated survival anxiety while supporting mission focus and operational effectiveness. German defensive planning required complete revision to address American fighter capabilities that exceeded tactical assumptions and resource allocation. Luftwaffe commands faced escort fighters that rendered traditional interception methods obsolete, while creating tactical situations they had never anticipated. Combat statistics from escorted missions documented American fighter effectiveness that achieved favorable kill ratios while protecting bomber formations that completed strategic missions with acceptable loss rates. P-51 escorts had transformed strategic bombing mathematics through technological superiority. The industrial impact that protected strategic bombing achieved included systematic destruction of German war production that air defenses could not prevent, despite continued fighter resistance. American bombers reached targets that had been invulnerable during unescorted operations while maintaining operational sustainability. Intelligence analysis revealed German recognition that American escort fighters had eliminated defensive advantages while creating tactical situations that favored Allied strategic aviation. Enemy assessment confirmed technological breakthrough that exceeded German response capabilities. International cooperation through P-51 deployment included aircraft operation from multiple Allied bases while supporting bomber formations from various nations. Democratic coordination had multiplied individual advantages through systematic alliance cooperation and resource sharing. The maintenance infrastructure supporting extended P-51 operations included advanced base facilities, spare parts availability, and technical personnel adequate for sustained escort missions. American logistics had created operational capability that exceeded traditional fighter limitations. The long arm of America had reached Berlin through technological innovation that fundamentally altered strategic bombing effectiveness while demonstrating systematic advantages that German aviation could not match through existing capabilities or resource allocation. Summer 1944. Luftwaffe ace Major Gunther Rall found himself desperately evading P-51 Mustangs over his own homeland, as American escort fighters transformed from defensive bomber protection to offensive hunter operations that systematically eliminated German interceptor capability. The pilot who had once mocked defenseless American bombers now faced technological superiority that rendered German fighters obsolete. The tactical revolution that P-51 operations achieved included offensive sweeps that engaged German fighters before bomber formations arrived, creating air superiority conditions that eliminated Luftwaffe interception capability. American fighters had evolved from escort role to air dominance mission that exceeded German response possibilities. German pilot casualties included experienced aces whose irreplaceable combat expertise was systematically eliminated by American fighters with performance advantages that exceeded Luftwaffe training and tactical preparation. The loss of veteran pilots created capability gaps that German aviation could not address. The production advantages that American P-51 manufacturing maintained included aircraft delivery that exceeded German replacement rates, while providing technological superiority that German industry could not match. Industrial abundance had created tactical advantages through quantitative and qualitative supremacy. Strategic bombing success rates approached 90% with adequate P-51 escort protection, enabling systematic destruction of German industrial capacity that air defenses could not prevent. American strategic aviation had achieved operational effectiveness that exceeded German defensive capabilities. Fuel shortage problems that plagued German fighter operations included synthetic fuel limitations that restricted training and combat operations, while American forces maintained unlimited operational capability. Resource constraints had eliminated German tactical flexibility, while American abundance enabled sustained offensive operations. The psychological impact on German pilots included recognition that American technological advantages had eliminated traditional fighter superiority while creating combat situations that German training had never addressed. Luftwaffe morale declined as tactical disadvantages became mathematically overwhelming. Combat training for German pilots decreased due to fuel shortages and aircraft losses, while American pilot preparation increased through systematic instruction and unlimited flight time. Educational advantages had created human resource disparities that favored American aviation capability. Intelligence gathering through P-51 reconnaissance missions provided American forces with strategic information that enhanced bombing accuracy while demonstrating aircraft capabilities that German aviation could not counter. Technological advantages had created intelligence superiority supporting operational planning. The maintenance challenges that German fighter operations faced included spare parts shortages and technical limitations, while American P-51 logistics maintained operational readiness through systematic support and industrial capacity. Resource advantages had created sustainability disparities. Economic implications of sustained P-51 operations included American ability to maintain technological advantages while supporting global aviation commitments through industrial capabilities that exceeded German production possibilities despite homeland advantages. Medical analysis of German pilot casualties revealed survival rates declining due to aircraft limitations and tactical disadvantages, while American pilot protection increased through technological advancement and operational superiority. Safety advantages had enhanced American effectiveness. International recognition of American aviation dominance included Allied appreciation for P-51 capabilities that had achieved air superiority over European territory while demonstrating technological leadership that exceeded Axis aviation development. The hunter had become the hunted through American technological innovation that systematically eliminated German fighter advantages while creating tactical realities that determined European campaign outcomes through air superiority rather than traditional pilot skill alone. April 1945. As Allied forces crossed into Germany and strategic bombing had systematically destroyed Nazi industrial capacity, the P-51 Mustang had achieved complete air superiority over European skies through technological innovation that rendered German aviation strategically obsolete. The fighters that had once escorted bombers now flew unopposed over a defeated Reich. The final accounting of strategic bombing effectiveness revealed systematic destruction of German war production that had been impossible during unescorted operations. P-51 fighters had enabled bomber missions that eliminated aircraft factories, synthetic fuel plants, and industrial facilities critical to German military capability. Gunther Rohl's surrender to Allied forces symbolized the complete reversal of air superiority that P-51 technology had achieved over European skies. The German ace who had once dominated Allied aviation now represented defeated air power that American innovation had systematically eliminated. Production statistics documented American P-51 manufacturing that exceeded 15,000 aircraft while maintaining technological superiority that German industry could never match. Industrial democracy had achieved quantitative and qualitative advantages through competitive innovation and systematic resource allocation. The strategic validation that P-51's success provided confirmed technological superiority as decisive factor in modern aerial warfare, while demonstrating democratic advantages in research, development, and industrial production that exceeded authoritarian alternatives through competitive innovation. International cooperation through P-51 operations included technology sharing with allied nations that enhanced collective air power while demonstrating American leadership in aviation development. Democratic alliance systems had multiplied individual capabilities through systematic cooperation. Economic efficiency that P-51 production achieved included cost reduction through volume manufacturing while maintaining performance superiority that exceeded traditional aircraft development methods. Competitive capitalism had proven superior to command economy organization for technological advancement. The educational systems that produced American aviation personnel created human capital advantages through competitive academic development that exceeded traditional pilot training methods. Democratic education had produced technological capabilities through systematic knowledge development and competitive instruction. Technological legacy of P-51 operations influenced post-war aviation development through innovations that continued shaping aircraft design and strategic doctrine. Scientific advancement had created lasting advantages through systematic research and competitive development methods. Quality control achievements in P-51 manufacturing demonstrated American industrial capabilities that maintained technological reliability while enabling mass production that exceeded traditional aviation industry methods. Scientific manufacturing had achieved excellence through systematic quality assurance. The medical advantages that P-51 design provided included pilot protection and survival systems that exceeded German aircraft capabilities while enhancing operational effectiveness through reduced personnel losses. Technological innovation had created human resource advantages. Strategic implications of American air superiority included post-war aviation leadership that would influence global military balance through technological advantages established during wartime innovation. Democratic research systems had created lasting competitive advantages. The workforce development that enabled P-51 success demonstrated democratic society's ability to mobilize human resources through opportunity and education rather than coercion. Competitive systems had produced capabilities that exceeded authoritarian alternatives through systematic human development. Innovation acceleration that P-51 development represented established American aviation industry as global leader in technological advancement through competitive research and systematic development that would influence international aviation for decades. The sky belonged to America through technological supremacy that had transformed strategic bombing from impossible gamble to systematic victory, proving that democratic innovation could achieve decisive advantages over traditional military excellence through scientific collaboration and competitive development. If this incredible story of how American P-51 Mustangs transformed strategic bombing and achieved air superiority over Nazi Germany amazed you, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more untold tales of aviation revolution.